Hello, Andromeda Aqua here, and this is probably going to be the first video on my channel, I think. I'm here to talk to you about fish, let's get serious. Well, first let me tell you what I, in general, am about. I'm just a guy who likes fish, and I want to share that with the world, with YouTube, and I also feel like sharing on YouTube is where I can also find people who can help me improve with my hobby in general. So, okay, what today's video is going to be about is a little more backstory. I started the hobby when I was properly when I was I'd say around 11, with a type of shrimp called triop, and it's a type of tadpole shrimp, closely related to the brine shrimp and the fairy shrimp, but it's freshwater, of course. And that was mostly because my parents didn't seem to allow me to have pets, so my best way of getting pets was to get instant pets. So it would be like, oh, David's come home one day with a box. Oh, and now suddenly there's fish. What can I do? They're not going to flush it down the sink in front of a poor child's face, so they let me keep them. And from then, I just started looking for other types of pets like that, and I found certain breeds or certain species of killifish, mostly the African annuals, Northobranchius. And the first time I actually got into the hobby, I'd say, or with actual fish, I'd say it was like 2 or 3 years ago, and I bought some Northobranchius corsause. I'm probably butchering that name. Northobranchius corsause from eBay, and I hatched them. I got like 20 fry, and they all lived until adulthood. But I was a dumb kid, and I got bored of them. But I still loved fish. So when I moved out for university, I'd found this big tank around my friend's area, and I just kept it until I moved out. And when I went into uni, I made a tank, and I just got more generic fish, like this gold gourami named Gura. I got a pearl gourami, but he died. Some tetras, which are the oddballs in this tank. And so yeah, now that I've moved back home, I've started desiring to go further into the hobby, and I'm thinking to make more species devoted tanks, and I don't really have much space. So this tank right here, beautiful, is supposed to be a tank that has sparkling gourami, as you can see, blue rams, and it's supposed to have Corydorus pygmaeus, but I haven't got those yet, and I've just got some Hystatus down there. Got like 6 Hystatus and 1 Panda Cory, so I need to make a retirement tank in which Gura will go, the 1 remaining Emperor Tetra, and the 3 remaining Glow Light Tetras, and the 1 random White Cloud Mountain Minnow, and then the 1 Panda Cory. There's actually going to be another tank that's going to have Panda Cory, so I'm keeping him for then. But yes, this tank is supposed to be sparkling gourami, blue rams, and a bunch of different species of killifish, mostly because they all kind of breed in the same kind of parameters. So my goal is to create a tank where it's heavily planted, of course, and the environment is right for all these fish to breed, and they'll be breeding readily, and the fry will survive and such. So that's my goal, essentially. So let me talk about the killifish I had in here. First, when I first started this, or when I first moved back, I had a bunch of Northobranchius gunseri eggs, and they all hatched. I got 5. At first I had 9, a few died off. Then I was left with 5 fish, and they all grew to adulthood. It was 4 males and 1 female actually, and all the males ended up dying. The female survived for quite some time, and then she died a few weeks ago actually. So that was kind of just an old age thing, because those fish only survive for like a few months to like a year and a half, because the area that they're from, they live in temporary pools, so they have to breed and die before the pools dry up, and then their eggs go into diapause, and then they hatch again when the rains come back and the conditions are perfect. So I got another batch of eggs, but this time the species was one I'd never actually seen before on eBay, and this species was Ophthalmolabias cons. Let me try find it. I'm terrible. Constancia. I'm probably destroying that name, but yeah, that is the species of killifish that I have in here right now. I actually have 2 different species. I'll get onto the other one in a sec, but the story behind the Constancia was that I had them in this my plant kind of what's it called, greenhousey grow out tank. It was dedicated to them, so it was more full. It had a heater and a tiny little air filter, and I'd say about like 15, and then I put them all inside. When they got a little bigger, I put them all inside this breeding box that was stuck on the side of here. It wasn't this one, it was one that was like mesh. And then one day in the middle of the night, the suction cups failed me, and they were all released, and by the time I saw it, there was nothing inside of the breeding box, and I was thinking, oh, that either all been eaten, or they've gone into the brush and survived. And lo and behold, a few months later, I saw some little Constancia fry just living their lives, and they ended up growing. Let's see if he's out. The biggest one, he's actually so beautiful. Is that him over there? Oh no, that's one of the smaller males. But the biggest one, he's become a beautiful beast. I'm planning to actually attempt to breed him, which is why I have the one Constancia that I can identify as a female here in this little semi-tub. It has a crack in it, so it's not completely cut off from the rest of the tank, so water parameters are probably exactly the same. But yeah, it's got a bunch of peat moss, and then weeping moss, and just a bunch of random floating plants and leaves for cover. And so the reason why the big male isn't in there right now is because of the other species of killifish that I talked about a little earlier, which was one I was hatching. I started hatching a few weeks ago, I think just after I set this tank up. It's called Hypsolabias halneri, and out of that I got around, I remember there being like from 5 to 7 fry. One of them like it grew insanely large. It was the only one that seemed to be growing, so I removed it, put it in the main tank. I see it every once in a while, but the rest of them, there were like 4 left, and I left them in here. And then a similar thing happened where in this time it was kind of my fault. I have this box resting on the edge of my tank, so I'd accidentally knocked it off, but I didn't notice that much because it was still hanging up there. And then this was while I was doing a water change, and when I refilled the tank, the water level matched with the top of the edge of the box, and some of them escaped. I saw one of them and I caught it and I put it back in there. And so now I've only seen 2 left in here. So either the other 2 have gone into the brush and survived, or they've been eaten. I feel like they might have survived because of that one that I saw and caught. It had been seen by the other fish and they weren't doing anything, so I feel like the others had survived. And I'll just have to see. So they're a bit smaller than this female, but they're big enough to not be eaten. But I feel like if I put the big male in here, they'll either be, oh, there's one right there. There we go. See, there they are. That's the Helneri. And as you can see, they're not that much smaller than the Constantiae. But I'm going to move them out when they're the same size as her, so that her and the big male can have their space to breed. I feel like if they start actually breeding in here, then oh my god, move out of the way. There might be some aggression towards the Helneri, as well as the fact that this is just too small of a space for one big male, as big as he is. If I see him, I'll show you, as big as he is for one big male, and for the small female, and then the Helneri. I feel like it's just not enough space, and even if it was, there'd probably be aggression towards them while the other 2 are in heat. So I'm just gonna wait, because she's fine in here with them. I'm gonna wait until they're big enough, move them out, and then I'll see if I can get the constant. Oh, there he is, absolutely beautiful. As you can see, like on his anal dorsal fin, there's like this shiny blue iridescence, and it's so nice. It's actually incredibly beautiful. I actually love this killifish. I'm thinking of getting some more. But yeah, that is. Ooh, should I do a little? I'll do a little fact file on the Constantiae. Oh, okay. So it's a species of. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that word. This is a species of killifish that's actually from. It's a species of annual killifish that's actually from Brazil. So is the Helneri, actually. Both of these killifish are from Brazil. And yeah, as I said, like with most other killifish, their eggs go into diapause until the conditions are right, which is why they can be sold on eBay and posted to you. Oh, there's the big Helneri right there. He still hasn't coloured up. Oh, there we get to see him close up. Your focus, so beautiful. He still hasn't coloured up, but he'll also be beautiful when he does. So yeah, like they lay those kind of eggs, and that's why they can be sold on eBay. And I just like that idea, because it just makes it easier for people to get into that hobby, kind of this part of the hobby, even though it seems very unpopular. The only place that I've seen it in like mainstream aquarist community so far is when Joey, the king of DIY, forgot that he ordered a bunch of killifish eggs, and then he tried to hatch them all at once. He made one video and then he like totally forgot about them, which I was kind of like, oh, because it would have been nice to see like my beginner species, the species that started me off here, represented up there on the King of DIY. But it's alright, because I'm gonna do that here. So yeah, I'm gonna be showing you the progress of how things are going with all my killifish and all my tanks in general. And I'm probably going to start ordering more tanks, do some like fact files on different killifish. Like, I would go deeper into the information on this type of killifish, but I literally cannot even find that much information. The times that I've searched it before I bought it, when I tried to search up what kind of, oh my gosh, I've never seen this before. Okay, what's this? Okay, so it has information on their temperature requirements, colder than most things I've come into contact with, like the German blue rams. Everyone says that I should keep them around 28, so I'm gonna keep it like about 25 to 26, just to keep everything safe. They prefer a pH of around 7. What does H stand for? Is that for hardness? But it doesn't have it. Never mind. They like rocks, plants, and driftwood, egg-laying, peaceful community fish. Bottom spawner, so they like to bury themselves in the peat moss and lay their eggs deep in there, which is why when you see people trying to spawn killifish, they'll have like a jar filled with peat moss in there, just so it's targeted. But then again, you have to, I've heard that if you don't have that in there, then they'll just lay their eggs anywhere, so that you can't collect it. But I'd rather have, but then there's the chances, either way, there's a chance that they won't lay inside of that jar anyways. So that's why I have this box where the whole space is covered in peat moss. Like, if I had another tank, which I'm planning to buy, that's for sure, then I would just get a whole load of peat moss, like just cover the whole bottom. Peat moss as the only substrate in there, and then they can spawn wherever they want, and I'll still be able to dry out the eggs like I'm supposed to, or if I wanted to sell them, I could still do that. But yeah, oh, it's vulnerable it's a vulnerable species, which is interesting. But even still, this is the most information that I've found on the species in general, and it's still not even that much. But yeah, this is the difference between males and females. Females, much plainer, have less spots. Their fins, you can't really see the fins in the picture. Their fins are clearer, they don't have the iridescence on them. And then the males have long streaming fins. They get these little flowing feathery tendrils on the ends, which mine is getting a little. Don't go. And yeah, the spots are darker, more vibrant. They look like more of a brownie color. But yeah, that's all for today. When the hell now I get a little more interesting looking and a little more recognizable, then I'll probably do a video on them. Payday's coming soon, so I'm very likely going to buy some more killifish. I've even been searching up right now the ones that I'm thinking of going for Cortause again. Kind of bored of Gunseri for some reason. I've always wanted Nosebranchius Rakovi, but I can't find anywhere that does them for a decent price. They're always like £15. Like, this person who sells them from Malta used to do Rokovi, but I can't. He doesn't do them anymore. I'm also thinking of Patrizi, which was one of the first killifish I ever tried. It didn't go well, but one species that's been, or is it genus? I don't know. I've been thinking of going for some kind of Fundulopanjax. I kind of want to look for Gardneri, because that one's always been on my mind. There used to be people that sold them on here, but I haven't seen any for a while. But yeah, you'll see when I finally make a goddamn decision on what I'm going to buy, and you'll see when all these killifish that I have when they finally grow up, start showing more color, when they actually get into the tank, when I get in a retirement tank and this tank becomes what I want it to be. I also hope to make some aquascaping videos, because I did art GCSE and A-level and did animation in university, and now aquascapes is the only way that I express my artistic skill. So you'll definitely be seeing some aquascaping videos, this is my beta tank. It's a little overstocked. I need to get a bigger tank for my beta. But yeah, I tried really hard with this scape and I really love it. So I'm going to be doing more videos. I have more scapes in mind, so when I get the money and the space to do all that, you'll see all that. But yeah, thank you for watching. Watch out for some new videos. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you later.